Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. Um, yeah, this is gonna be a normal Wackahoven, but if you were around for the previous stream, you'll know Joseph sending a peculiar email to me. That the more I think on it, the more I see as a thinly veiled threat, surprisingly. And I'll explain this in my reply, which will, of course, be made public. So, Joseph, if you're watching, be sure to check your email for that. Yeah. Um, but today we are going to, as we continue to get back into the groove of doing these streams, we're going to hit up his Kenthoven's Wednesday video, where he continued to ramble on ostensibly against Professor Dave, from my understanding. Let me get the window going. I finally have my dual monitor setup going, which is the first time in years I've had that available. So bear with me because it's a little awkward getting used to. One thing I wanted to point out, though, were comments down here that are now enabled, with a lot of people saying, just talk, giving appropriate crap against Hovind, such as self-deprecating. Like, in the Hovind, just come. That's the best you can do is say, "Oh no, no, you," to what an egotistical moron regarding Kent. She is. Get the fuck over it, Kent. So Sweeto has nothing new, and this one, which is the first one I had noticed the day after the stream. How on God's green and blue planet did I get this recommended to me? Man, oh man, I'm a Christian, and this makes me feel sorrow. Brother, please let this go. It- Once again, even other Christians are telling Kent maybe he needs to let these things go. Maybe he needs to stop. And that's the thing that people like all the Hovendites don't get in why we focus on him like we do, like our clique. It isn't a matter of Kent being wrong about absolutely fucking everything, although that is, a thing that's brought up, but it's the man himself. But he wants to hide behind just, oh, I'm a Christian preacher. It's the evolution debate, as if that somehow negates any criticism of him as a human being, while he simultaneously attacks and insults everyone who disagrees with him vitriolically. It isn't just a basic tit for tat kind of situation. He has devoted copious amounts of time for things of his ministry time, of his videos. These aren't just side projects, these are his actual sermons where he spends more time whining and complaining about people than actually, just teaching the Bible. So one of the things I'm going to do is I've got a text document open. I'm going to make notes like Joseph has in his email to me, and the one that that Kent was reading to Professor Dave the other week. Sorry, it's very cold here, and I get very rush when it's cold. Um, Room gets awfully cold here. I'm going to have to get used to that, which means it's probably going to get hot during the summer too. So, ugh. Anyway, um, he likes to timestamp things and say, "Well, you said this or you said that," and I'm gonna pull the same to show the copious amounts of bullshit that Hovind throws out nonstop. And by the way, Kent, I must stress again that manifestation is not a thing, and me saying particular words does not mean that literal substance has suddenly appeared in my mouth. Okay, I know you think that's how reality works, from your deity just speaking shit into existence, but that's not how the actual universe works. Okay? It's just words. Grow the fuck up, old man. Let's get into it. Make sure volume's good. Check. Let's do it.
Amen. They never did shoot any of the targets, did they? They just move on to something else. Look, evolution is the dumbest and most dangerous religion, and it's nothing but a religion in the world.
All right, let's timestamp that one first and foremost. 47 seconds in. And dumbest religion, and it's nothing but a religion. So he's lying right there. Also, he's just attacking a concept being just outright rude by design,
They don't want to admit it's a religion because then they lose their tax funding. They want to keep us out of the schools and only their.
There's nothing to admit. Because it isn't one. Yeah, I'm going to be taking notes.
Religion gets taught, right, guys?
It's not a matter of convincing Joseph of anything. He's a lost fucking cause. That email has seriously caused me to lose what respect I did have for him because it's just some petty passive aggressive bullshit. So I'm just gonna call out the hypocrisy. He's not gonna care about it, but that's fine. This is being a matter of public record.
Tonight, welcome. It is March the 11th, 2026. Open mic. Call in. Dumbest religion in the world. Gonna have whack an atheist first. Gonna whack one of the fellas. Haven't whacked him in quite a while. Let's see. Let's see. On Facebook.
Really? I thought you went after Professor Dave again because I could have sworn I saw him. Are you talking about someone different this time around? You say you didn't whack him in a while? So it's going to be one of the same people you always talk about. Is it Mr. Nelson? Nah, you would have tagged that or had Joseph tag that in the title to get more views.
Facebook, on Rumble, on X, our own app, KentHovind.tv, Instagram, TikTok. I don't know about all this stuff, Joseph. We're straight north of Pensacola, Florida.
So let's note that they still didn't mention YouTube, even though Joseph passively acknowledged that they were on YouTube, while simultaneously trying to say that I somehow broke terms of service, as if calling Kent a moron is somehow a ban-worthy violation, considering the kinds of crap he does. Let's continue.
Florida, 70 miles if you want to come visit. Come on up. Get off at either exit 77 or 83 on I-65 and come over a couple miles to Lenox, Alabama. At least stop in and say hi. Join us for breakfast.
Hey, Kent. There's GPS available to virtually everybody trivially. You buy your goddamn phone and you got a GPS functionality built in. No one needs fucking MapQuest directions to your stupid ass Dino Land, all right?
Free lunch, free dinner, free 5 o'clock. What was supper tonight? I missed it. Potatoes and sausage? Our cook is really good, but I was really tired. I fell asleep. Sorry about that. But I'm wide awake now, Joseph. I probably won't sleep half the night now because I'm... Anyway, come join us. It's all free. We have free cabins. You can...
Gotta make it about myself. I didn't eat dinner or supper. What'd y'all eat? Oh, yeah, well, I fell asleep. I was tired.
So here we are, March 11th. Whack an atheist tonight. We haven't got this guy in a long time. I'll tell you in a minute. Okay. Let's see. We're going to have our 10-year anniversary next month, April 21st. Come on down. Join us for a week of wonderful celebration. 10 years of getting this property donated to us and all the projects.
Yes. I was given something. Let us celebrate. I didn't work hard for this. I spent 10 years in prison, and someone felt such pity for me that they just gave me this gravel pit.
Progress that's been made. Let's see. Help us stay open for free if you would. Join our Dinosaur Adventureland, drdino.com, drdino.com, 777 Club. There we go. Look at that. 9.9 years, Joseph. Getting close. Okay. Joseph, I checked. Atheist Jr. has not done...
Oh, he's going after AJ. Oh, come on. Oh, man.
Many videos on evolution since I've whacked him about 10 times. Did he get it? Did he get the message?
No, Kent. No. AJ's been doing other stuff. It's not important what it is. He's living his own life. I hope he, comes back with a vengeance here soon. I really should check in on him. But I tend to let people do their own thing. Something that you really should learn how to do, but you're incapable of because you spend all your time up everyone else's asses rather than focusing on your own life.
I don't know. Atheist, we need you, okay? We need you to get saved, really. See, when he did one, Bourbon Begins. He got 294 views 8 months ago. He did one chatting with Planet Peterson, got 328 views. He did one exposing Kent Hovind, got 2,200 views. He learned early in life, mention my name in the title, and your views go way up.
Well, Kent, you're kind of a lolcow. It's not because of you. It's because of you. Now, I know you can't read between lines and don't think you can really read very well at all. But the absolute ignoramus that you are is what draws people to watching content ridiculing you. If you, excuse me, you yourself were so important, people would, excuse me again, sorry, I chugged an energy drink this morning as soon as I got up. You would have better views, especially a better view to subscriber ratio. You wouldn't have had to buy subscribers previously. Um, you wouldn't just be just as statistically irrelevant as you are in your sphere. People like to watch AJ rip into you. People like to watch me rip into you. And I hate to say, but my prolific content output is part of what had pushed AJ to work on other stuff for a while. And I feel real bad about that. But people come to my channel for me. They go to AJ's channel for AJ. If they happen to be talking about you, there you go. There's a lot of people who want to see you ridiculed. If they wanted to watch you, they'd just watch you, Kent. You don't get this.
Let's see. He did Atheist Junior versus Kent Hovind a year ago, got 1,800 views. Kent Hovind's reprehensible lie about being a lifeguard. I don't watch any of this stuff, okay? But
I have my goons watch all this stuff and then send really crappily written emails trying to passively aggressively taunt the people who criticize me because I'm a fucking snowflake who can't handle criticism. Instead of just focusing on sharing the word of Jesus and letting God sort it out, I gotta sling mud constantly because I'm Kent fucking Hovind.
Pick this one here. Lied about being a life. AJ, I was a lifeguard 2 summers at the Salvation Army camp in Peoria, Illinois. Go check it out.
Yes, come back, AJ. And how the fuck is somebody supposed to go check it out, Kent? Also, no one gives a flying fuck about Peoria, Illinois.
Still got the record. If the camp is still there, I don't care. I took water.
But you're bringing it up. You don't care, but you're bringing it up, Kent.
I became a lifeguard. I'm an Eagle Scout. Okay, I took water safety truck and instruction class. I can teach lifeguards to be lifeguards.
Then why didn't you for your... Also, you don't teach lifeguards to be lifeguards. You teach people to become lifeguards. That's like saying toasters toast toast. All toasters don't toast, Kent. They toast bread. Hope she made lots of spaghetti. Let me know in the chat or in the comments if you know what I'm referencing. If so, you're a fucking nerd in the best of ways. Anyway, Kent, why didn't you have someone who had lifeguard training be available when people were swimming in your stupid little mud holes to where that kid wound up drowning? Okay? Can you not understand that that's that between your callousness with it, the fact that you show no emotion in how you bring this subject up, and how you focus more on the fact that the family had a good time, but even more so, the unspoken fact of why the fuck wasn't there somebody with actual skills monitoring if people are in water? You never answer that. You never acknowledge that. Which is especially disgusting given that you stress how you are a lifeguard. You can teach people how to be lifeguards like you did just now. Why then didn't you have people trained? I'm not even talking about certifications, which would be wonderful to have and I felt should be mandatory, but somehow churches get away with violating every other policy on earth. How is it that you would not have had the impetus, having been trained in water safety, to be like, hey, there are serious risks here. Let me train you in how to best help somebody It may not be the best stuff. It could be risky, but I would better you to know and to have confidence in making a decision to save a life than to let something happen. It's insanity, Kent, the way you go about this stuff and act like people are just not going to notice the rampant hypocrisy or the glaring omissions in the things you do. If I'm a tech guy. If I were to set somebody up with a computer system, so they have a computer. This is nowhere analogous in importance to saving a life, but in that same way, I would teach them the fundamental understanding of, hey, don't just, run whatever. Hey, here's how to do a proper internet search. Here's how to judge things so you don't get scammed. I would go through this stuff instinctively because I feel it's mandatory training to have along with having the device, having the thing, having the areas to have water based entertainment, the pools, the lakes, the whatever you want to call the mud holes. And I say that for comedic sake. I know they're not literal mud holes. You guys do not understand hyperbolic comedy. So I have to explain it to you like you're five. I would have had everyone there be like, hey, do you know some basic lifeguarding stuff? Can you perform CPR? Can you swim? Are you confident in using this piece of rescue apparatus to assist somebody? And I get that if nobody knew that the kid had bumped his head and had an issue, there's nothing that really could have been done. But there's no indication that there was someone there monitoring things, which is one of the key things for anyone to just be an observer at the very least, so that if a situation begins to go downhill, someone would see it. Someone would say, hey, wait, Steven bumped his head. He's underwater. Hang on. Someone go help him. Dad could have rushed over. Might have saved a life. That's what kills us about this, Kent. The fact that there was just no proactive defenses put up, combined with the callousness at which you react to it, showing no actual emotion. It's ridiculous. But we're the bad guys for bringing it up.
Why would? Well, he's desperate, isn't he? Yeah. Then you got Lupin versus Evolution. Only got 745 views. Oh, AJ. Ken Hovind concedes all my points on his open mic.
You sure as fuck did. That's a great one. Seriously, after you're done watching my garbage, go and rewatch AJ's stuff. Please give AJ some more views. Give him some, boost the revenue. Give him a nice perk up in the stats so when he looks, he'll be like, hey, their stats went up. I wonder. And then he'll come back and Hovind's giving him free advertising. Thanks, Hovind. Thanks, Kent, for pointing out AJ's wonderful videos because you're promoting AJ to all of your idiot sheeple. How does that make you feel? Especially when I use your own garbage logic against you. How does that make you feel, Kent? But seriously, go check out AJ's stuff. I love AJ. Why don't you save the little boy, Kent? Yeah, exactly. I got banned for asking some guy on TikTok if he truly thought it was viable income. The fact the family just accepted the loss, yeah. Which, from what I've heard, is bullshit, but I can neither confirm nor deny that personally.
2.4 thousand views. When did I ever concede all his points? Again, that's a
Also, let's notice Kent, as the narcissist he is focused on views, focused on statistics, focused on metrics. If this dude was born in 2003 rather than 1953, he'd have been all over the fucking TikTok and stuff, just trend whoring like a motherfucker.
year ago. Atheist Jr. and Aiden, greatest hits, only 262 views a year ago.
We gotta up those numbers. Because Aiden's great. I hadn't been able to watch his current stuff, but I freaking love Aiden. I'd love to collab with him at some point, but I'm leaving him and the AJ sphere together to do their things. But Aiden Linden's been producing content finally. I haven't checked out a bit of it. It's always while I'm at work. I'll eventually get back to that. We do have a 279 Canadian shekel super chat from The rotting rainbow now. Ooh. Watch AJ's content. That's an order. You damn right. All right, let's continue.
Creation myths puts Kent Hovind in a wicker man.
And oh yes, AJ's living rent free in Kent's head. Very true. Once again, Hovindites and other morons on the internet, all of your petty, pathetic sayings that have no value, we can just reverse them on you, and they actually prove to be more true.
What on earth is a wicker man?
Oh no, Kent, you were in prison when that film came out, I think, so yeah.
Again, a year ago. One more time here. Let's see. Debating flat earthers about gravity, 443 views. Crashing Kent Hovind's open mic. I get booted. You're proud of yourself, get booted off my open mic. You call in tonight, AJ. 2.8 thousand views. Debating an insane.
The original Wicker Man is August 7th, 1974. Isn't there like a new one though? You know, the bees, not the bees. 2006. Okay, yeah, that's the one being referenced. All right.
Flat Earther, 624. I'm seeing a pattern here. Let's see. Anyway, phone call with Dr. Kent Hovind. 1.3 thousand views.
Dr. Asterisk Kent Hovind.
9 months ago. I can't find him doing anything in the last 8 months. I only looked for 5 minutes. I don't have time for it. So here's this.
I only looked for 5 minutes. That's when I had time to take all these screenshots and do red boxes around the titles as if all my idiot followers are too stupid to be able to tell what a title of a video is, because I've got to put red boxes around fucking everything. When me and my wife, virgins on our honeymoon, first got it on, I had to put a red box around my flea-sized dick. Holland.
One right here that he did. The audio is terrible.
Hey, pro tip to all the idiots out there who watch this and don't understand what hyperbolic comedy is. This is comedy. This is intentional exaggeration for comedic effect. Okay? Okay? Y'all don't seem to get that because it looks like, the Hovindites are all going to be real suit happy. Add Yamato's name to the lawsuit, Kent. By the way, we've got a copy of that amended lawsuit. I need to go through it. I'm not going to do a dedicated video on it. It's full of a lot of soft sit jargon that I've noticed currently, as well as other shit. I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but still.
Terrible. I was driving home from Andalusia carrying a 1-ton bag of corn in the back of my truck. How many have seen those giant 1-ton bags they have?
Wait, did I miss something? Why in the goddamn hell do you have your picture in front of the fucking Columbine High School slide from DVD 5 up, and you're talking about pulling corn from somewhere? What the fuck did I miss? Oh, the phone call context, right.
Driving home from Andalusia carrying a 1-ton bag of corn in the back of my truck. How many have seen those giant 1-ton bags they have? Farmers do, okay? And he called, and I answered. He called at first, got our answering.
Yeah, but you didn't answer when I called, you prick.
Machine where you got to say, there's 6 choices. If you can't hear it, I'll just go to the main point that he made. The whole thing was to
answer a machine with 6 choices. You mean the oh fuck, I'm a phone freak and I forget what it is. Just the director prompt. We could call it that. Come on, Kent.
Can't argue about something really dumb. Okay, AJ, let's see. Right over here. No, that was it. Right there. Okay.
Angeles in Dinosaur Adventureland. We have 6 extensions that you can choose from. If you'd like to place an order, please press 1. To talk to somebody.
The Columbine slide was in AJ's video. So, okay. That one's on AJ, just putting up random images of Kent. So, okay. Sorry, Kent. I will, unlike you, I will acknowledge when I make a mistake, regardless of how big or small it is, and concede that, I thought you had switched to an image to tell your story, didn't realize you had switched to the video. Because I'm honest like that, and I'll acknowledge, I had a presumption that was wrong. I should probably step back a bit from that immediate jump to a conclusion that tends to happen. But you're so predictable, you'll get some incorrect hits sometime. So misses. you'll fire and miss. Bad signal.
In the finance department, Hovind himself.
To reach the video production department.
At the tone, please.
Well, I'll give that maybe it was a bag in the back of a truck. He wasn't literally carrying 1 ton, but colloquially saying. But whatever it is what it is. Who knows? Who cares? It doesn't really matter. $5 super chat, Chris. So Joseph said you used too many naughty words to speak to Hovind. You damn right he did. You damn right. Well, it was like you're such a good or you have good communication skills. Why you have to use profanity? Or no, it was after I said I'm a force for good. He asked why I have to use profanity, as if that somehow automatically makes something morally bad. It's like, what? It's just literally some words you don't like. Hell, their value is brought up by the fact that they're considered prohibited in most common senses. That's what gives them their value. So the more they complain about it, the more apt people are to use those words to express the particular emotions and to vent that extra little bit of stress that comes with the usage of such.
Say your name, then press pound.
AJ.
That's a voice I miss. AJ.
He keeps flashing up totally irrelevant pictures. This is him doing this. This is.
Yeah, we gathered. You have to make something for people to watch. It's just a slideshow of Kent Hovind's best images. You have to find something to complain about, Kent.
Show that he produced. Okay, totally irrelevant pictures. My family in Pensacola.
Translation: he's really hurt by seeing pictures of his life back before it went to shit. Which I understand. I've been going through I got a hard drive here that I haven't had access to since before the move, and it's got all kinds of pictures of me and my ex, and I've been having to go through it. I'm not deleting them, but I have had to scour, especially for some images and such that I know exist but could not find because they weren't on an archive I had locally. Turns out they actually were, and I didn't search hard enough, but I found them on the other drive as well. And it's an emotional hit, but it also gives me a chance to begin finally healing from the wounds of that breakup and the like. As I adjust to being in the new place and hopefully things finally getting back the way they should be. So it's a moment to grow personally. So I can understand you being hurt by these. But I feel like you could and should probably just kind of let it go, kind of not mention it. But staring at that's got to be painful. So I can empathize, Kent. Can you empathize with someone else's pain? I don't think so. Oh my God, is he about to start crying? Look! Notice the slight shift in the smile or lack thereof, in the scowl. You think he's going to actually start crying? And this is what I've said. I said before, the actual little rendition of Amazing Grace they have for the IVR. That's what the call-in system is for the IVRs. It's bringing to an extension. Is a very beautiful rendition of it that conveys very well through the phone network, which is pretty impressive given the shit quality of the phone network. Infinitely worse than it was back when I was a kid and our one ESS locally, or the way it would have been for like people growing up in the 60s and 70s. But yeah, I think this is actually getting to him. I think we're seeing some emotion from 0645 2017.
Sing grace, how sweet the sound.
Oh, AJ singing along, going into Hovind voice. Oh, you love it.
Hello. I have 3 phone calls at the same time.
Oh, really?
Good morning.
Good morning, Kent.
Yeah, I just had the delivery. Calling a heavy load of feed for the cows. You're ready to get converted. I'm ready to show you, man.
Okay, is now not a good time to talk, or you're...
No,
Got a load of feed for the cows so the cows can eat. I'm not making fun of you, Kent. It's just I got a load of feed for the cows. That's like the most normal we've ever heard you be. It's like, well, I'm on the road right now. I got a load for the cows. Also, were you driving during this, or did you park to the side? Because you really shouldn't be driving and on the phone. Big distraction. Good to see my ex soon in court. Say I'm nervous is an understatement. Ugh, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that oh, that's the wrong mouse cursor. Kind of glad that my breakup was more of just like toodles. Kent has emotions, some. Lol, AJ, indeed, and yep, this is gold.
perfect. I got a half-hour drive.
Oh,
ahead of me.
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, do you remember when we had a debate about Haeckel's embryos? Do you recall that?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a great debate. One of my favorites. So I was just curious.
Debate on Haeckel's embryos. What happened back in 1869? A German professor named.
We all know the Haeckel story, Kent. This is one of the things you do. You just go off on a diatribe. You have to, promote yourself in this way of, I know these things, but you don't. Presume all your audience is stupid, so you gotta bring it up. You gotta talk about it.
Ernst Haeckel made up drawings of babies as they grow inside different animals. The sheep, I think he had the sheep, the cow, the pig, the human, and he made all the drawings look just, and a dog. He made all the drawings look just
So you're acknowledging that humans are animals, Kent?
exactly alike. He lied, okay? But we're talking 1860s when there was no photography and there's no way to check his drawings, and they figured, hey, this guy's an embryology professor. He knows his stuff, so it's got to be true. He did that to try to show that everything is evolving and all the embryos have gill slits, proving.
No, pharyngeal arches are a trait that is noticed in mammalian embryos and other embryos as well. A common trait that will develop into different structures, but most notably would have go all the way back to fish embryos and would become the gill slits. Also, Kent, the features depicted in the art were valid, save for some little fudges that he did in the first edition that were corrected. And since then, all manner of microphotography has shown that the principles depicted by Haeckel are correct. So whether or not his one particular set of drawings were fraudulent is irrelevant to the fact. It does not matter in the least that what we see is exactly what every scientist says.
They go through the fish stage. That was the whole purpose of Haeckel. So I mentioned Haeckel lied, and there was a trial at the university where he taught, University of Jena, and they found him guilty, and he admitted, I lied, I fudged my drawings. So AJ...
There wasn't a trial, though, Kent. Not in the way you say it was. And again, it was only one set of drawings in the first edition, and no one's denying that this had occurred, but you act like this one fabrication suddenly invalidates all of embryology when that's simply not the case. It's irrelevant in the grand scheme. It's a footnote. In the true actual science, it is a fucking footnote at best. And yeah, AJ had swag for days during that debate. I said he had the Symphony of the Night Alucard look going on. And I stand by that. Although I do think my cat Alucard has a little bit more swag. That's, we're touching the cream of the crop already from the level AJ had. So, Plus, my cat doesn't wear clothes. He's just a black cat, but he's Alucard.
Said, I'd like to see evidence that there was a trial. So he's calling in to say, where's the evidence that they had a trial? I say, AJ,
yes, you must bring this evidence if you're making the claim. Positive claims require positive evidence. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence.
You're missing the point. The
No.
drawings were fake, whether they had a trial or not.
Nonetheless, you claim there was a trial. You should back this up. You're trying to make the event sound more severe than it was, which is still irrelevant to the fact that everything that was documented, both presumed in that first edition and corrected in later editions, has been shown to be valid through microphotography since then. So your point about Haeckel has nothing to do with the actual science.
So let me just play a few more minutes of this, and then I'll go back to the evidence and then take some questions here.
Curious if you had ever followed up on findings about the trial for Haeckel and all that? Did you ever find out about that?
I had somebody from Germany call me and say they're over there in the library with the documentation that yes, it did happen.
I'm going to call that a lie, Kent. Where is this documentation? Do you have evidence thereof? And I'm not saying that necessarily that you're lying and saying that, and you just completely made up this, but that a person might have called claiming they were there and claiming they had the evidence just to give you something to tell AJ or something to say, and you believed it. It doesn't even matter, though, in the grand scheme. It really doesn't.
Debate, somebody who lives in Germany and goes to the University of Jena, where this took place 150 years ago. He was in the library, and he called me from Germany and said, hey, you are correct. There was a trial, at least a hearing of other professors. It wasn't a legal trial where you go to jail. It was the other professors held a hearing and said, Haeckel, you lied. So this guy's calling me from Jena, Germany, to say, yep, you're right, Verhoeven. They did have a hearing on this. AJ won't believe it till he sees the evidence. So.
Well, that's usually how reality works. It's funny, you won't believe evolution until you see the evidence, but when it's shown to you, you just go, nuh-uh. Yet, when it comes to your God, y'all first and foremost say there doesn't need to be evidence, it's obvious, but then follow up with ad hoc rationale that's just completely off the cuff of, oh, look at the trees, oh, God. Funny how that works, Kent. Very funny.
It wasn't actually a court trial. It was his own university. 6 professors accused him of lying. I think he sent me the stuff on it. I'm not here.
Did he, though? Did he?
Would have put it in my notes at PowerPoint. It doesn't matter, okay, whether Haeckel had a trial or not, the fact is, those aren't.
I'll read it. Okay. So I said, AJ, whether they had a trial or not, the facts are those drawings are fake.
Except, again, it is, Kent. Because embryology goes beyond Haeckel. Well beyond. It's irrelevant. Just like Darwin. In the grand scheme, for the way we understand things now, they're fucking irrelevant. I don't give a fuck about Darwin. I don't give a fuck about Haeckel. I give a fuck about the current science, which is just infinitely more in-depth in every facet possible of studying the nature of life and showing our common descent.
So it's a distraction to worry about, did he have a trial?
So it's a distraction to worry about, did he have a trial, away from the real.
But you focus on the trial constantly and use whether or not there was a trial as proof that there was fraud involved. Do you not see this logic? Oh, no, you do. You just don't like the fact that we can see it too, the lies that you're doing.
Real point of the drawings are fake. Would it be better if I just read it to him, Joseph? I can see it fine, but turn the volume down. Or it's you can watch the show, his show on his channel, AJ Atheist Jr. Let's see. Let me go ahead and turn the volume down and just read it to you. Okay. Let's see. It's a distraction. Did they have a trial? What color shirt they wore? You're the one that brought this up, he says. If you want to say you're wrong, let's see. He wants me to say I'm wrong that there wasn't a trial. No, there was a trial, AJ. I don't have the evidence for it. I don't need the evidence. It's not the point. The drawings are fake. He's trying so hard. These guys try so hard to get you off track on a little detail. That's why I don't take on the flat earthers, and I don't want
to. But Hovind doesn't do that. I'm not focusing on, all this little nitty-gritty bullshit and not trying to constantly shift every bit of open discussion into whatever I've got in my PowerPoint slides. And I never sit there and once I'm put into a situation of open discussion, just try to turn things back in some way and claim one topic at a time. No. It's everyone else doing the distracting.
Fight all the other battles in the world. I'm going to focus on what God called me to do. Okay? I like my brachiosaur mic holder, Joseph, but I just whacked him accidentally. That's evading the point. The point is you should not use embryos as evidence for evolution, whether there was a...
Except you've in no way demonstrated that embryology is wrong. Your claim is a person who was early in figuring out this stuff had fudged a drawing and was called out for it. And that just makes everything wrong, even though it's not. And you can see embryos currently and see the same similarity patterns that Haeckel's original artistic depictions had. The fact is irrelevant to how it was originally in the very first edition of a book depicted. Okay?
Trial or not. The trial, I think,
You know, Kent, the first report on the Chernobyl disaster, INSAG 1, is full of a lot of glaring errors that were fixed in INSAG 7. Does that mean that INSAG 7 is not an accurate depiction of the Chernobyl disaster and everything we know about the Chernobyl disaster is incorrect because INSAG 1 was incorrect? No, that's not how that works. And INSAG 7 has some glaring errors as well.
there was one. The guy told me there was. Did you put that in your? I put it in my slides. I don't. Doesn't matter. I have 50-some thousand slides. Okay, I try to keep records
No one cares how many slides you have.
in there, so I know. But I don't remember if I put it in there or not. If I missed one, I'm sorry. Go to Jenna yourself and check it out. Okay. Let's see. Why are you focusing on a gnat and swallowing a camel? I said to AJ. The embryo.
Wow, you had a turn of phrase you used. Whoopity doo. You're the one who brings this up. We're going to. This is the amazing shit that these people do. And all of these frauds are like this. They always bring up all this random crap. And then when you call it out, they're like, why are you focusing on it? Because you brought it up, old man. What the fuck? It's like stuff just gets magical immunity because they just declare it to.
Those are not evidence for evolution. Have the trial one day.
Show me evidence for your God, Kent.
People will say, look, here he fakes the drawings. Obviously, you can compare them, and the pictures don't understand. It's too hard to, it's even hard to hear on the original video that he put up. But
I don't know, Kent. It can't be that hard given that the YouTube AI overlords, their systems were able to parse the conversation enough to automatically generate the captions, because these are auto-generated captions, Kent. We can tell because they're the auto-generated ones. Come on, dude. It's not that hard to hear.
let me just show you what he's trying to say. They're still using evidence for evolution as
Translation, I'm not going to show you all of the video because it ends up showing how wrong I am. So I'm just going to narrate myself the parts that I want to narrate, and then I'm going to focus on something else.
embryos as evidence for evolution. I want to.
Oh, yes, from Junt72. You can Google it. There was a trial. It's like, yes, and you can Google that the Earth is flat. You know, you can also Google all the proof that there is no God. What does that tell you, Junt72?
Go here and back to here. Nope, and I want to get to right slide number 1141. 1141, enter. Okay.
Oh, we are not doing this again. We are about. Are you seriously about to go through the Haeckel shit again, Kent? Are you seriously going to waste everyone's time with this fucking garbage?
This is a textbook, Merrill's Earth Science book, right over here on the shelf, from 1993. So that'd be what, long time ago? Okay.
Yeah, I was in the 3rd grade, Kent. Yeah.
30 years ago. They say
33 years ago, dumbass.
evidence for evolution has come from studying the embryos of different organisms.
Fact.
Wait a minute. Why is this in an Earth Science book?
Is it though? Is it though? I mean, where's the context in this? That's kind of a key thing, Kent, is understanding where the context of this is in the overall document. So while I'd love to look up Merrill's Earth Science from 1993, I don't have people handing me money hand over fist for ingratiatiousness of them being lied to be able to go out and buy random obsolete textbooks over the decades. Okay. So you might want to show the entire chapter and where it lies in relation to the entire book. So my request would be please provide imagery or PDF scan or something of the entire chapter in conjunction with the table of contents showing its layout in relation to everything else. I would love to see that. Since, you wonder what it's doing in an earth science book, I would wonder that as well, but that would be a way we could figure this out.
Evidence for evolution from embryos in Earth. Okay. Humans didn't evolve from dinosaurs, yet a human embryo would probably have several features and development patterns in common with a dinosaur embryo. Explain why this would be the case. See, they've sneaked their evolution religion into just about every branch of science. I've got earth science books, physical science books, biology books.
It's not a religion, Kent. It's not snuck into science. It's an obvious fact. It's the most substantiated thing in all of science. That's the hilarious thing, is that every other thing you think of that's scientific is actually less substantiated than biological evolution.
Books, they're all anatomy books, hundreds of them here, okay? Come take a look for yourself. Maybe you can find that particular one, Merrill, Earth Science, 1993.
Oh, there we go. It's in an earth science book because paleontology is an earth science. Thank you. That makes sense.
This is one of the lies in the textbooks. Watch my video number 4, lies.
No, I'd rather watch R and Raw tear apart lies in the textbooks. Funny you haven't gone through any more of that. You were so offended when he first did it, and now you don't bring it up at all.
In the textbooks. Embryology, gill slits. I looked it up 20 minutes ago, or 30 minutes ago now.
And I got the AI response. Ooh.
Is embryology evidence for evolution? This was an AI-generated answer. Somebody taught AI something stupid, and the AI just repeats what they tell them, doesn't it?
Somebody taught Hovind something stupid and taught all Hovind's followers something stupid, and the stupid followers just repeat everything Hovind tells them, yeah.
Okay. What's that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, embryology provides strong...
Kent, since you don't understand large language models, colloquially known as AI, use extremely advanced predictive text models along with logical processes. I forget the exact name thereof, and the types of calculation logic being used. While it's common to call them basically advanced predictive text, there's a hell of a lot of back-end logic going on and massive database processing to allow AI to come up with the answers that it will for such queries. I have had tremendous success using generic free ChatGPT to assist in the implementation of well-documented programs, configuration settings that I couldn't figure out as a human, which helped me learn these things through example and through implementation, being like, oh, okay, that's how that's supposed to be. Cool, it makes sense now. Documentation sucks sometimes. In conjunction with philosophical concepts, scientific concepts, facts, and the like, and just raw freaking math, which I use AI for all the time, and complex, high-value stuff that's beyond my scale to handle. It's based off of a mass aggregation of data sets. And since scientific facts like the nature of embryology, especially as it goes in with evolutionary principles, they're going to be parsed in, Kent. So if you ask it a question like that, it's going to get a response that you're not going to like. And you're just going to cry conspiracy because that's all you fucking do, rather than understanding that the entire scientific community is clearly settled on the fact of biological diversity via process of evolution.
Strong evidence for evolution by revealing shared developmental patterns among diverse species. They're still teaching this stupid idea. Even if the embryos were identical, that doesn't prove evolution. Comparative embryology shows that early embryos of vertebrates, as animals with backbones, such as fish, frogs, birds, and humans.
Note the presumption that his audience is absolute fucking morons. They should know what a vertebrate is.
Look remarkably similar. with features like pharyngeal.
I mean, I'm gonna be serious. If you're watching this stuff and you don't understand what a vertebrate is, and you don't know what DNA actually is, you don't understand, some basic biological processes, you are not equipped to make a personal judgment call on these sciences. You're just not. That doesn't mean that Kent saying this stuff means he is. But the fact that the audience doesn't realize, if I don't know these basic facts, maybe I really should study this stuff before I make a judgment on it. But they do that anyway, because religious people always look for reasons for what they believe, not the other way around. It's always validation of that.
Arches, gill slits. Here it is, off the internet, half hour ago. And tails
it's on the internet, it must be true.
Appearing at comparable stages. These similarities suggest a common ancestry. AI, wherever you are, listen to me. That would suggest a common designer, wouldn't it? When they build a truck or a car or a snowmobile or a skateboard, I don't know, they start off.
Yes, because those are artificial things, Kent, and they are defined things. They are things that people work towards as a goal. So engineering fields tend to go for what will accomplish that goal. Nature is not artificial. We distinguish the natural because it is not artificial. As I stress constantly, the moment you're trying to compare the natural world via the artificial world, you destroy the concept of anything being natural.
Going down the assembly line with the frame, and then you add onto the frame. You add the motor and the body on the wheels. That's a common way to design things. It makes sense. If you started...
That's not design, Kent. That's construction.
If you start building your car with the windshield, what would you do next? They start with...
I mean, technically you can do that if you were just buying all the parts to build a car and the first thing you happen to buy was the windshield, there you go. It's the final assembly stages where that shit matters, but you technically have the windshield before anything else if that's the first component you buy. Oh my God.
The frame. And the embryos all grow with building a frame, and they're...
Except they're really not.
Different from the instant of conception. Okay, anyway. They suggest common and...
Yes, different, but with all these shared components. Some of them completely unnecessarily shared. Tails that develop and then atrophy. What's up with that?
Ancestry. Okay. As development progresses, species-specific traits emerge reflecting evolutionary divergence. Tell AI he's an idiot. Kent Hovind said so, okay?
Yes, let me make note of that. Comments like... Just shit like that, but I'm the bad guy for calling Kent a moron.
Vestigial structures observed during embryonic development, such as transient gill slits in mammals. They're still teaching this.
Pharyngeal arches would be the more accurate term, but it doesn't matter. It's talking about a structure that clearly exists and through its existence is accurately documented in ways that line up with the broader principle of evolution. This it's just how this shit is, Kent.
30 minutes ago. Tail buds in human embryos and limb buds in snake embryos support evolution. These features are remnants of ancestral traits that are functional in some species, but lost or modified in others. While Ernst Haeckel's recapitulation theory, that ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny, has been discredited due to exaggerated and inaccurate embryo drawings, the core insight remains valid. Embryonic development reflects evolutionary history.
But even then, as Tyler brought up, it's really funny that someone who was so lambasted for his drawings would have continued teaching at the university for 30 more years.
Modern evolutionary developmental biology, Evo-Devo, confirms that conserved genes like Hox genes and developmental pathways across species point to a shared ancestry. This is stupid. Khan Academy is still teaching it. I don't know who they are, but Evidence
I don't know who they are, but they're teaching actual science, so I'm against them. I'm not going to look up who they are. I'm just going to bring them up and be like, see, it's all a conspiracy, see?
of evolution
Also, Dirtman Rib Woman, that's not stupid though, is it, Kent?
from embryology. Let's see. Still teaching it at bio.libretext.org. Embryology, the study of development, is evidence for evolution.
This man not taking a single second to think about what a website titled libretext.org might be about.
That was 2021, a couple years ago. How does embryology provide evidence for evolution? 2019, sciencing.com. Embryology is a study of analysis of embryos. Evidence of an evolutionary common ancestor is seen in the similarity of embryos. Here's a National Center for Science Education. Nothing. Jeannie Scott, you're a liar. There's no evidence for evolution, and you know it.
Yeah, it's just accused Jeannie Scott of being a liar. He's really butthurt about that one.
Okay, this is the New England branch, not the Berserkly one, right, where they got mad at me. The study of one type of evidence for evolution is called embryology. Evolutionary embryology. Embryology, evidence for evolution. Evidence from development. The similarity between early stages and development, many different animals helped convince Darwin that all forms of life shared common ancestors. Darwin considered this by far the strongest single class of facts in favor of his theory. Haeckel
I wonder what Darwin would think now. Probably genetics on a whole, if I had to guess, would be the strongest piece of evidence. But, you know, Darwin's been dead a long time. So he doesn't know all the stuff, or wouldn't have known all the stuff we know now.
called it the biogenetic law. Like just they teach the stupid law of superposition. The one on top has to be younger.
Ooh, one topic at a time, Kent. You're bringing up random shit.
No, they're forming sideways. The one on top is not younger. Think about it. Anyway, watch experiments in stratification.
Okay, Kent. Gonna be nice and not make the joke I want to. Gonna be nice. Was gonna involve your best friend.
So they made up this stupid phrase, ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. Here we go. Comparative embryology. It's like the embryo retains a memory of its origins and starts to copy them during its development. I see. The evolutionary idea that sick mind Freud relied on most heavily.
Yes. Sick mind Freud. Gotta mention that one. It's okay for Hovind to do all this stuff, but Joseph wants to get all Joseph's email wants to get all butthurt about what I have to say. It's cute. Real cute.
In the manuscript is the maxim that ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny, whatever that means. That is, the development of the individual recapitulates the evolution of the entire species. So they're still teaching that the baby growing in the mother has gills like a fish. This is a lie. Those are not.
No, early in the embryonic stages, there are pharyngeal arches, which in various fish, which is not a taxonomic term, but people know what it is colloquially, would develop into gills. In our case, various bones in the jaw and inner ear, various structures in it, because those root fundamental structures have been repurposed, because evolution is beautiful like that. In this, you show the exact principle embryology demonstrates. And you say it isn't part of evolution, but it is. But you want to distract and focus on the Haeckel thing constantly because that's all you fucking have, which isn't much, but it's what you go with. And you're just obsessed with it now. You went from whacking AJ to focusing on that one phone call to going through this again because you hadn't brought up this old chestnut.
Gill slits. Those little folds of skin as the baby starts to grow. I mean, we're talking about this big, before when it's this big, you know.
And tinier than that, moron.
The size of a drop of water. They look at it under a microscope and say, wow, there's little folds of skin under the chin. And they number them, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they develop into different bones in the ear and glands in the throat. They never have anything to do with breathing.
And nothing in evolutionary processes claim they do. That's the thing. You just focus on the fact they're called gill slits colloquially. Get over it, old man. God. Yeah, even Kent's supporters have pointed out the flaw in Kent's reproach, the law of superposition. Yeah. It's just like, nah, dude.
Never. I've seen fat folks got 5 or 6 chins. They can't breathe through any of them. But
Oh, I was waiting to see it.
top one. Hillary. Praise God.
Yeah, yeah. You seen photos of Diaper Dawn, Kent?
They're gone. Okay. Let's see. Haeckel said the turning point in his thinking was when he read Darwin's book.
Well, Freud was a dumbass in a lot of ways. Fuck Freud. I don't give a shit. But again, you'd expect Hovind to be more mature than to be a freaking overgrown child saying sick mind Freud, national pornographic, berserkly, instead of just being, focused on what he has to say, what his sermons are. You expect different. He's not an entertainer. He's supposed to be a preacher. Why do people not get this? And I don't mean, all of y'all, of course. I mean, Joseph and his stupid email and the Hovendites following, not understand why. It's like, hey, what the hell's up with this guy?
Book in 1860, the year after it came out. 1868, many evolutionists were worried about the lack of evidence for Darwin's theory. They liked the theory. They liked the idea of getting rid of God. But we don't have any.
Is he irrelevant to your deity? All that evolutionary theories, popularization did was break notions of specialized creation. If your deity can't survive that, that sounds like a problem for your deity, not anything else.
The evidence. So they decided to make some. The fraud began when Haeckel was drawing a family tree for mankind. He worried about the large gap between non-living and living organisms, so he made one up.
Kent, what is a non-living organism? I don't think you understand it grammatically. You just made that distinction. Non-living organisms don't exist. An organism is definitionally alive. You taught English?
Said, oh yeah, there's a...
I'm sorry. You taught English? Don't think so, Kent.
Menorah. What's a menorah? We don't know. We've never found one, but there has to be one. Okay. 1869, Huckel claimed to have discovered these organisms in ocean mud samples. And he gave them a name, Bathybius haeckel, in honor of Haeckel.
Bathybius haeckeli. You illiterate, uncultured swine.
That's a good. Honor him with a non-existent creature. Okay. 1875, John Buchanan said Haeckel's discovery was simply calcium sulfate from the seawater. Haeckel refused to admit his fraud. AJ, these are the guys, and you refuse to admit the fraud. You go all over me. Can you prove there was a trial?
No, you.
We're talking about 140 years ago. Can you prove Abe Lincoln ever wore socks? I mean, it's they missed the point deliberately. Let's see. He kept putting drawings of Monera in his book. He made up drawings of this non-existent creature. Haeckel's fraud continued with his attempt to prove that the only difference between man and ape is that man can speak. Is that it?
Humanity is a subset of ape. So,
Is that the only difference? I thought there was a couple more. He fraudulently created missing link, Pithecanthropus alalis, which means speechless ape man. He turned into a man, but he still can't speak. So they need to make a woman like that. Let's see. He went so far as to have
misogyny. You gotta have it.
Artist Max Gabriel Marx draw the made-up creature. Their drawings put in Haeckel's book of a creature that never existed. Haeckel reached an all-time low when he began presenting the biogenetic law, the law of recapitulation.
Kent, this is all great, but it's not the 1800s anymore. I don't care about this stuff. I don't care what some fucker did 150, 160 years ago, dude. I really don't care. Okay? I care about what we understand now. And while there's a lot of history I love and a lot of history I do care about, so I can't say as a broad rule I don't care, this has no bearing on the facts we understand today.
Thought that animals retrace the stages of evolution in its embryonic development. Embryo when it's a baby inside the mother. Here's a dog embryo at 4 weeks along. Here's a human embryo at 4 weeks. Here's Haeckel's drawings of the same thing. Here's what they really look like. And here's Haeckel's drawings. He lied. He later said, well, I fudged the drawings. No, Haeckel, you just flat out lied. He made charts of all the embryos of all kinds of different creatures. Let's see, we got the cat, the human, the turtle, the fish, salamander. On top are his drawings. Underneath are actual photographs of what he was supposed to be drawing. He doesn't get it.
Yeah, I want to point out, Kent, are those the exact same specimens, or is that, like a century later we took those photographs, so those would have been different specimens at a different point in time versus the drawings he would have made, which really still doesn't matter, but I just want to point out that they're not exactly the same individual specimens.
When tried by the Jena University court, he convicted. He confessed and said, a small percentage of my drawings are forgeries, those namely for which the observed material is so incomplete or insufficient as to fill in and reconstruct the missing links by hypothesis and comparative synthesis. Hovind translation. I had to make up the drawings so they didn't have any evidence. He said I should feel utterly condemned were it not that hundreds of the best observers and biologists lie under the same charge. Records from the University of Jena trial in 1875 by Dr. Edward Blick, Blick Engineering, Norman, Oklahoma. That's where I got my information from. So the guy called me from Germany, and so he said, I'm at the university where this happened, and yes, there was a trial of the professors, not like a court trial and where you go to jail, but his other professor said, Haeckel, you lied. And he admitted, you're right, I faked some of the drawings. Now he continued teaching there after that. So what they did to punish him, I don't know, maybe nothing. Doesn't matter. The drawings are fake. So AJ in his video goes off and saying, well, why didn't they fire him? He worked for 30 more years there. You're missing the point. The drawings are fake. He said, where's the evidence there was a trial? AJ, you're going off track again. The drawings are fake. Stay on point. I listened to probably 20 minutes of him. His whole thing is, I can't prove to him there was a trial. Therefore, I lied, is what he said.
I think you can. I think the disconnect is that trial come out, and Haeckel was suing another professor for libel, for slander, and defamation.
Oh, shut up, Joseph. Good God, just shut up, dude.
And Haeckel lost that because the things that guy said about him were that the drawings were fake and things like that.
Can you get evidence of that? Let's put, okay.
Yeah, how about some actual fucking evidence, Kent?
I'm sure somebody's already done all this from 1869 or whatever the trial was. Anyway, this idea of embryology is still in textbooks today. Darwin's book, The Descent of Man. The human embryo itself at a very early period can hardly be distinguished from that of other members of the vertebrate kingdom. All of these frauds were brought to the public attention in 1911 in a book called Haeckel's Frauds and Forgeries. Few people know the pictures were fakes. The deceit was exposed in Haeckel's Frauds and Forgeries, a book by Azimuth and Hull. They quoted 19 leading authorities of the day. One of them said, it clearly appears that Haeckel has, in many cases, freely invented embryos or reproduced the illustrations given by others in a substantially changed form. It's a sin against scientific truthfulness. Get the book for yourself, okay? Despite the early exposure, Western educators continued using Haeckel's pictures. So in 1869, Haeckel makes up the drawings. 1874, 5 years later, is proven wrong. 1911, a whole book comes out about it, where they say, yep, he's lying. But guess what? Today, 2026, they're still saying embryology is evidence for evolution.
Because it is.
Watch when I debate these guys, like Professor Dave. He'll say, there's lots of evidence for evolution from comparative anatomy, embryology. They just throw it in with a list of...
Yes, Kent, because multiple facets of science all aggregate together to show this. That's the reason you focus on one topic at a time, so that people can't see the obvious fact that when you look at all these different fields of science, everything is concordant with everything else, pointing towards the only conclusion anyone with any sense can actually pull, is that biological evolution, old age of the Earth, all these various physics properties like stellar nucleosynthesis and like, every bit of it is valid and correlates into at whatever stage is relevant biological evolution, because I don't want to play your game and act like stellar nucleosynthesis is at all an actual step in biological evolution, because it's not. But since you love to bring up crap like that, we've got answers for it.
Big words. It's always in there, embryology. It's a lie, okay? Scientific team photographed the growing embryos of 39 different species. In 1997, Dr. Richardson said, "This is one of the worst cases of scientific fraud. It's shocking to find somebody one thought was a great scientist was deliberately misleading. It makes me angry." What Haeckel did was take a human embryo and copy it, pretending that the salamander and the pig and all the others look the same. They don't. They are fakes. Embryonic liar from New York Times. At a certain stage, the embryos of man and ape, the dog, the pig, the sheep, though recognizable as higher vertebrates, cannot be distinguished from each other. This is Haeckel wrote another book in 1900. 25 years later, he's still teaching the idea. They don't have anything else for evidence, folks. There's the fake drawings on top, the actual photographs underneath. Either he's a lousy artist or he's a liar. And he was a good artist and a liar. The biogenetic law as a proof for evolution is valueless. That's the 1956 edition of Darwin's book. They put that in the foreword. Yay, about time. The biogenetic law has become so deeply rooted it cannot be weeded out. 1969. Let's see. The biogenetic law is as dead as a doornail. American scientists admitted it in 1988. So AJ, rather than ever admit, yes, the drawings are fake, they shouldn't teach this in school, is all after me on his show. Can you prove there was a trial? Where did it happen? What color shirts did they have on? You know, that's how desperate they are. Here's evolutionary analysis, 1998. It's over here on the shelf someplace. They're still using Haeckel's exact chart. This is the chart that Haeckel used that was proven wrong 150 years ago. They're still using it. You know why? They don't have any other evidence for evolution. Haeckel's fake drawing still used in this new University of North Dakota. When I was up there, I went to their university to speak, I believe. Anyway, I got their biology book, and they still have Haeckel's drawings in there. Berkeley University, still teaching it. Let's see. So Darwin published his book 1859. Haeckel faked the drawings in 1869. He was convicted of fraud by 6 professors in 1875, but they're still in the books. Holt Biology, right there on the shelf. I think.
Man, I'm so sick and tired of his rants on Haeckel. It's just so fucking boring. Just at the top tier of shit that bores me that Kent says.
Got 2 or 3 copies of that one, I think. Anyway, so it frustrates me as I watched AJ's claiming his whole show, 9 months ago now, the last one I can see that he did.
His whole show about me.
Maybe you're giving it up, AJ. Look, you really ought to give it up, and you ought to get saved. You're going to face the very God you claim you don't believe in someday.
And let's note the claim don't believe in, pulling that shit that everyone, actually does believe in the deity. Kent, as if that magically just makes the deity powerless. What the hell is wrong with you idiots thinking that we're so stupid? Oh, I'm just not going to believe in that. Makes it go away. It's like, no, that's not how anything fucking works, old man. You have everything ass backwards.
It could be tonight. You don't know when you're going to die. You could... asteroid could come out of the sky and smack your house. A drunk driver could drive into your house. How many different ways are
Boy, seems like Kent really fantasizes about this shit.
there to die? You'd fall.
Wait, did he just ask a question? I think he did.
House. How many different ways are there to die?
So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
You'd fall down the steps. People have fallen down 1 step and died. I hope you don't, but you will.
Yeah, wasn't that what happened to Trump's first wife?
You're going to die one day. They're still teaching embryology all through the textbooks, and I got them all right over here, folks. It's just, this is all from my textbook collection. 2004. SAT test. You can't get a high score unless you're willing to either lie or pretend the drawings are fake. The drawings are real. That's part of.
Or you actually know science, because, contrary to what you think, Kent, it's not a fucking conspiracy, alright?
The SAT score. Gill slits in 2004, biology book. Gill slits. This is before they took me to prison, so I've got to update my slides.
Before they took me to prison.
I guess. So they're still teaching it. It hasn't changed. Kent State University, Kent, Ohio. Rachel Oates says, I'm lying that no one is using the gill slits as evidence for evolution. That was a debate I did with Rachel Oates. Did I do a debate, or is it just a whacking atheist?
I think you just was whacking atheist.
She won't debate me. Rock, walk, walk, walk.
Yes, the real mature actions of a 73-year-old man to pull, try to tempt Marty McFly with the chicken, bullshit.
Come on, all you atheists. You're real brave behind your keyboard. Come on. I'm just a lowly, non-accredited degree former high school science teacher.
Hi, Kent. I need to remind you that that's textbook bully behavior. Like, high school bully behavior. Real mature there.
And living in a town that barely gets electricity, we're way out in the sticks here. I should be an easy target. Come on. Embryos and Evolutionary History. That was accessed 2017 from McGraw-Hill Company. Got a bunch of their books there. They're still teaching this. Evolution with Embryology. Blogspot.com. I accessed
Blogspot. I don't even know what a fucking blog hosting website is. You have to get a little more specific than that, Kent.
that. Evolution with Embryology from BioZoom. Rational Conclusion still teaches it. SlideShare still teaches it. All these life forms have gill slits. Evidence for Evolution. Gill slits. Kent, you're a wretched liar, among other vile things. It's not claimed that those are gill slits. Can anybody read that? So I'm a wretched liar.
Why don't you go into the high-end scientific journals, the deep depths of this stuff, rather than pop sci and textbooks, and see what kind of verbiage they use.
It is claimed that they are structures which resemble gills. It is claimed that they, and form into gills in the animals that actually have them. So no, it is never claimed that we have gills at any point in development. Think of it this way. We have tails forming during our early development, yet a proper tail never forms. What does it say right there? Glycobiology, human, gill slits. Is that what it says? Yeah.
To answer the question from Carter Chase, what happened to AJ? He's been taking a break. That's the best I can describe it. I've been giving him a space. Hadn't been asking much. Don't know. All I know is he's doing whatever he wants to do, and I hope my man's doing well.
Presence of gills and tails. They label them gill slits. Gill slits, gill slits. Human, tail. Yeah, wow. Embryology provides evidence of evolution. Example number 2.
And Nismo, so far, yeah. Still getting used to things, but new place is all right. Thanks for asking.
Top secret. Only view at the end. Gill slits. Evidence for evolution from embryology. Viced Rhino, I think is who that guy is. There, yeah, Viced Rhino.
Yeah, which you'll love that his name is an anagram for Eric Hovind. Also, that's some old Viced Rhino right there.
Let's see. Evidence of evolution, embryology. Look, they are desperate, folks, okay? And they know, they should know, they're
desperate. They're desperate. They should know they're lying. Meanwhile, look at Hovind and other creationists. They're desperate. They know they're lying. Enough said. Every accusation is a projection.
lying when they present this as evidence for evolution.
Excuse me, every accusation is an admission.
But that's all they've got. That's why that one debate I was doing, I went through some of the lies in the textbooks, including this one. And the professor said, well, folks, Kent Hovind's right. These things are lies. But if we take them out of the textbooks, what are you going to...
Yeah, I would like to know where that debate actually was, Kent, because I call bullshit on that.
replace it with? That was his question. Like, I got to find evidence for your stupid theory because all you have are lies? I'm sorry. Get a new theory. Like maybe God designed them. Kent State University, showing the embryo look just alike of the tortoise and the chicken. Anyway, okay. Questions and answers, Joseph. I could play some more AJ if you wouldn't puke in my church here. Gill slits, right there.
Ooh, got to add that one. Wouldn't make you puke in my church. Real mature there.
They do call them gill slits, and they're not. They're just folds of skin. And even then, the drawings are fake. Okay, questions or comments, Joseph? Probably fired somebody up on this one. Which country will the Antichrist come from?
Well, United States.
I don't know that the Bible is clear on that.
I'm not prepared for that.
I would just be taking a guess that it's going to be one of the descendants of Abraham, so either Muslim countries or Jews. Somebody
Cute, Kent.
come up from that country. Just anybody got a theory on that? No? Okay. Don't know. Let's see. Saint Worm. Please don't forget to share. What am I supposed to share? Oh. What is your opinion about pre-trib rapture? Well, it's wrong. I used to believe it for 40 years. I'm sorry, it's wrong. We're raptured out after the tribulation, before the wrath of God falls. Get my chart, get my book, my chart, my video series, where I go into this in great detail. Here's the smaller version of the big chart behind me. The yellow stripe here is the tribulation, 7 years. We get raptured out right there. We're up at the marriage supper of the Lamb, while the wrath of God is poured out on the world. The day of the Lord is 1,000 years long. I took out 231 feet here to make it fit on my chart, but it would be from here to, Pearl Lane. More than that. I could measure it if it doesn't matter. Okay. So we're not appointed unto wrath. What was that comment we got yesterday? How can you say we're here for the tribulation when God said we're not appointed unto wrath? Yeah. Think about what you said. Okay, so my chart is after years of research in jail with plenty of time to work on it, and boy, did I pour myself into it. That's reluctantly had to admit the pre-trib rapture is wrong. Ask the Christians in Uganda right now. They're going through tribulation like crazy. It's unreal what's happening over there. Okay, 3, the people's warrior. Hovind, you cite that Saddam created a coin considering himself Nebuchadnezzar. Can you cite this coin? I show pictures on video number 3 of my seminar. It took me a while to find the picture now, so I did already. I already documented it. I show a picture of the coin. And I show the translation from, I think it's Arabic or whatever language that, into English that somebody made. So yeah. Watch video number 3. It's right in there. He thinks he's God. Okay. Is Leviathan and Joel the description of dragons in the Bible? I believe so. I have a video, in the green video series, the topical series, called Leviathan, the fire-breathing dragon.
Sorry. Yes, the one that most famously features you telling the story about beating your child at the dentist office. Yes.
Do I have that here? I don't think so. Well, if I had everything on my desk, I'd have to have a big desk, wouldn't I? Yeah, there it is. Special messages, $50. There's 13 different DVDs in there. You can get one of them is called Leviathan, about Job 41. And I mentioned the other Psalms where the Leviathan is mentioned. And dragons mentioned many times in the Bible. Okay. Dr. Oven, I can see SpongeBob and the hammer. I can't see. That's because they're out of the frame of the picture. SpongeBob?
Yeah, there's another little thing. Just always having to be a dick to comments like that. And there's a streamer I follow, Dragon Blitz, Symphony of the Night, speedrunner, and he does that to his audience. But it's kind of got a charm to it as a character when he eventually breaks character and is like, no, let me explain it to you. He's a dick, but he's not like always a dick. You kind of got to learn to understand it and let it grow on you. Um, and he's giving me crap on stuff, so it's like, okay, you learn to take it. But like Hoven's just an asshole just to be an asshole. There's no charm to it.
Science, real science. Quit imagining. Right? That's all evolution is, imagination. Which is fine. You can live in your fairy tale world if you want. But I don't want to pay for that to be taught to the kids in school like it's part of science. That's all.
Yeah, Kent, and I don't like my tax money being used to blow up school children in countries with brown people, but that's what's fucking happening. So I think, I said I'm a better force for good than you. That's a fine example where I am against us funding Israel and providing them with weaponry to do the kinds of shit that they've done, or us do it directly. Because Trump is pissed that everyone knows he's a goddamn child rapist.
Why do people think that the four corners of the earth refers to a flat earth?
Because it does. Because that's what those ancient goat fuckers believed.
It's an expression. The four corners of the earth. I mean, maybe it's the north, south, east, west. On a flat earth, how do you get north? Which way's north?
Why don't you ask them, Kent? But you seem to run away from flat earthers whenever they're in your presence. Too scared they'll convince you?
Bible talks about coming out of the north quite a few times. How do you get north on a flat earth? You ever think about that? Did they mention that, Joseph? How do they answer that question?
Why don't you ask them, Kent?
It's funny. They don't have a model. They won't submit a model. They just want to mock everybody else's.
Yeah.
Pot, meat, kettle. Don't have a model. They just want to mock everybody else. Anyway, here's what our stupid book says. Well, I guess you kind of present a model, but it's a real shitty model.
Well, Hovind, clear stand. The earth is round. This is a reasonable representation. It spins, okay, toward the east, and it goes around the sun. And I have flown to Australia. You got to go over a whole bunch of ocean to get there. Yeah, a lot of Pacific out there. So yeah, don't waste your time on me. The earth is not Kansas is flat. The rest of it's round. Okay. A couple of more questions and let's quit. Dr. Brandon, is that for me?
Yeah, he was just joking. He
Oh.
said if the New York Times are piling on, you know it's bad.
Oh hell, everyone! Just got a notification from eBay. Seller freaking for the phone that got lost in the move. A near identical model, save for the lack of a volume change for the ringer, but that's a part I can buy. Sent me an offer at save $13.87. I might commit today. Oh, then I've got to buy the extra equipment to wire it up into the modern, post 60s phone jacks and then get my equipment set up. But, at least I'd have a 5302 again.
Oh. Does the Bible tell us how long a single day is for God himself? God's not locked in time at all. He's right now seeing yesterday and tomorrow and today all at the same time. He's outside of time. He sees it all.
Then your God knows every single action that can ever and will ever happen, and knows what decisions will be made, and knows what events will occur, and either cannot change that or has full control over stuff, one or the other, which means they know the inevitable outcome of my life and whatever judgment they would pass upon me. Thus meaning I don't have any kind of actual free will. Everything is in one way or another predetermined. And the deity already knows not just what actions I'll take, what decisions I'll come to, but also what would convince me otherwise. So it's your deity's responsibility for everything good and bad that goes on.
Simultaneously. So there's no time with God. Now the Bible says 1,000 days, 1,000 years is as a day. That I think means God's working on a 7,000-year calendar for us. It's for our benefit. Just like the 6-day creation and day of rest, that was for our benefit. God doesn't need a day off. He could have done it, the whole thing in 6.
Or could have done it all instantly and just said, here's your arbitrary thing, because the thing about your God is that everything is fucking arbitrary. And it's funny that you have to take actual normal ass patterns in the world and make those into something that your God would have set up, because of course you do.
Nanoseconds, or no time at all. But he chose to use 6 days, so we'd have a week to work in. Then I think he's working on a 7,000-year calendar, the last one being the day of the Lord, a day of rest, the millennial kingdom. The day of the Lord is mentioned in the Bible, I'm going to guess 50 times.
And usage of the concept of kill, killed, etc. is in there hundreds of times. What does that tell you?
Sometimes it's called a day of wrath. Sometimes it's called a day of great blessing. That's what had me frustrated for nearly a year in prison, finding all the verses mentioning the day of the Lord and looking them all up and trying to fit it all together. Part of the day of the Lord is a time of wrath. We're up in heaven at the marriage feast while the wrath of God is poured out for about almost 3 years. Get the chart or the book and prove me wrong. Last one, okay. Nino Savant. Ken, do you believe that the biogenetic
Hey, it's one of our friends. Hell yeah.
law is still taught as valid today? Yes, they teach it and teach that it's valid, that it's true. Biogenetic law says the growth of the embryo from fish, amphibian, reptile, mammal is the same as the growth of the evolution of creatures from fish, amphibian, reptile, mammal. That's what the biogenetic law is all about. The fancy phrase ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny means the growth of the embryo recapitulates or reenacts the growth of the species. It's stupid, real stupid. But they still teach it, absolutely. Okay. Thank you. Tomorrow night, open mic again, next 2 nights. Got any evidence for evolution? Call in. Somebody contact AJ. I'd like to see him get converted. I really would. Meanwhile, I don't want you to destroy other people's faith with
Yeah. On the seventh day, God laid back, had a wank, and it was good.
your stupid evolution religion. So until then, you're the enemy, but I'm going to smack you sweetly and gently in love. Okay? Okay? Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Oh, hang on. We gotta have the classic Hovind come.
Spirit and the bride say, Come. Let him that heareth say, Come. Let him that is athirst come. Come.
Come.
If you're not a Christian,
Come.
come.
Oh, that seriously is so stupid to end with, but whatever. You guys are so dumb. You guys are stupid. Does Kent think changes his mind on pre-trib rapture makes him open-minded? Yeah, I think so. That's why he brings it up so much. He's just like, yep, see, I can change my mind on one thing. But all right, that's the end of that. Glad that went quicker towards the tail end than it did at the beginning. Lost IQ listening to Kent again? Yeah. Come. If you're not a Christian, come. If you are a Christian, come. Yeah. But I don't really have anything else to add. I'm going to take a little break, try to get a little warmer in this place, although the temperature is supposed to start rising soon. And like my fingers are frozen. And then I am going to begin writing my response email to Joseph. And then I'm probably going to go and try to figure out something else to enjoy for the rest of the weekend. So, much love as always, and I will catch everyone next time.